What's going on? You locked in with the Innovators YouTube. You already know I got the best interviews right here, man. I got my guy in the studio today, Horny Goat. What's poppin'? How you doing today?
Man, what's the big old deal, Innovator?
Nothing much, man. You know, we in the good Vallejo right now. Good studio, good vibes. How you feeling?
Most definitely, man. Everything good. I'm feeling good. Life good,
Yeah. Just to get into it, let the people know where you're from, where they can find you on social media.
From Oakland, California, man. 6'6" and Herzog. Follow me on Instagram, official_run-it-up-HG, man. Facebook, all that. The YouTube channel, Horny Goat.
Yeah. Just to get into it, can you talk about like how you grew up? Was your parents around? Like, what was that like for you?
My parents was around. They split up when I was young, like 2 or something, but they both was active in my life. I had a good stepmom, a great stepmom. So, I definitely had my parents around. I was back and forth from my dad. My dad moved to Vallejo when I was about 10 or something. But I was back and forth between him and my mom in Oakland. And I didn't have no bad upbringing, no traumatizing upbringing.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be super in the streets and all that. But my mom went to prison when I was 12 for multiple strong arm robberies and all that. So,
Your mom?
Yeah, mom, she was a gangster, man.
I was like, damn.
She was a gangster, man. Mom's a gangster. So, my dad was a Navy man.
For real?
Yeah, he stood on Benet's complete opposites.
That's what I'm saying. Them damn near opposite.
Hey, my mom about 6'3", my dad about 5'9".
For real? That's crazy.
Yeah, but they I don't know. That's why they didn't stay together. But my dad was real business oriented and my mom was a party animal. So, but like I say, I don't regret none of it. I got the best of both worlds, if you ask me. That's where I got the street smarts from. And then, I got my business savviness from. So, but yeah, when my mom went to prison, that was pretty much when everything flipped upside down for me. You know, that's when I kind of gave up. She took 5 years on her case and 2 strikes. And at that time, when you 12, 13, you can't fathom 5 years away.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a long time. So to me, it seemed like, man, my best friend was gone and she was never coming home. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, I kind of just went off the deep end, man, and that's where all my childhood nonsense and trauma came from. It started there and didn't stop.
You feel like when your mom left, you just started wilding out, or you just like what was it?
It started with me saying, okay, so I didn't know my mom was in jail the first like month and a half she was in jail. Well, I went out there for Christmas. I was with her. I was staying at my auntie Lynn's house. Mom said she'd be right back. She leave middle of the night. She said she'd be right back. She never come back. Yeah, I mean, and so then, I'm asking, where my mom at? Where my mom at? And Lynn and everybody throwing it off. Oh, I don't know. Come on, let's go shopping. Because my mom's sending bread home, for us. So she's like, oh, let's go shopping. Trying to throw it off. But I'm steady asking where mom's at. So when I finally find out, I actually called a bunch of hospitals and jails myself.
For real?
Being that young, I called a bunch of jails and hospitals myself. Nobody told me she was in jail. And then I found out. I ended up calling the jail and I found out. And when I found out, it was a sense of betrayal when it came to my family because it was like, damn, why ain't nobody say nothing? Yeah, I mean, but they didn't want me to flip out the way I did.
Yeah.
And so once I found out she was in jail, I found out her bail was $316,000. And now at that time, I'm not knowing how bail works. I'm thinking, you got to come up with $316,000.
Yeah.
And I'm asking, and nobody's saying nothing. Everybody quiet. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. So ain't nobody gonna bail her out? And, so I called myself going on one trying to come up with the bail money. So I'm doing this, I'm doing that, hitting houses, doing this, doing that, all types of crazy. And I'm getting 4,000, 3,000, 7,000, but I'm never coming nowhere near 300.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So after a while, trying to stack that shoebox money and seeing it wasn't working, I don't know, I kind of gave up, you know. Then my dad took me to go visit her one time, and she was like, "Don't worry about it," you know what I mean, all that, and you know, that was just real defeating for me, man. Being a kid and going through that, that was my best friend, you know, so it was real
Yeah,
defeating, and I felt real abandoned. You know what I mean? So at that point, that's when I started to develop what I would call a willful disregard toward women in general. Yeah, I mean, not intentionally, but that's what happened, and it was like, you know, fuck all these bitches. Yeah, I mean, if she had abandoned me, anybody will. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, and so that's where that kind of stemmed up from. Whether I didn't know it at that time that that's what was going on, but you know, reflecting back on it and learning from it, that's where it all began. That's what it was, man. Like I
yeah.
say, it was spiraling from there.
And like, what's your relationship with your pops? Or like everything was good, or like you?
My dad was the dad everybody wished they had. Yeah, I mean, my dad, he still is to this day. You know, every time I went to jail, he never, you know, turned his back on me or nothing. He was there for the visits and all the court dates, all that. Um, Even after I done wronged him, stole from him, doing shit I shouldn't have did, he still never, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I done did a lot of shit to where a lot of people's parents probably would have turned their back on him, to be honest with you, but he never did. To this day, he never did. So, you know, when I went to prison and all that, he was still there. You know what I mean? To this day, we got a great relationship.
yeah.
We're still in communication. I see him when I see him, but yeah. He a pastor now.
For real.
Yeah, he actually a pastor now. I done drove him. I done knocked him off his rocker, and then he had to turn to something stronger than him, man. You know what I mean? Shit.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy. That's tight though. That's tight
yeah, for
though.
sure.
Now, at what point do you start getting into making music?
So I was doing music. I was watching one of my older siblings. He was doing music, just in the garage type shit, and on the block. And so then I clicked up with Be Easy and Gunna from the city and all them, and we was uh we was the Money Bag Bad Habits group. At that time I was about 15, 16, and we getting in all the clubs, no ID, all the lounges. We doing all the open mics and all that. And that was when I was like, oh, I like this shit, you know. But it wasn't about no money back then. So, you know, we doing everything to get in everywhere, and we ain't getting no money at the end of the day. So, but I still was going to jail, and that was throwing everything off. I'd be out a few months, go to jail. Yeah, I mean, throw everything off. So, uh, that was where it all began, where my interest in peak in music began. And then my real interest in music didn't come until after I went to prison and I came home and I realized it's a couple dollars, there's some money in this shit if you do it
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Your name. I gotta ask you, where does the name come from? How did you come up with it?
Yeah.
Was people telling you that like your name is crazy? Like,
Mm-mm.
let's talk about that.
So, Horny Goat, honestly, bro, it started with, that was some shit amongst me and my circle, my siblings and whatnot. Uh, we all called ourselves horny goats. And what we used to do back in the day was we just used to tally up and see who could fuck the most bitches, who could knock the most bitches. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that's what it was all about. And so growing up, you know, I had a crazy body count. I was going crazy, and my dad used to tell me like, "Man, you gonna," he was like, "You gonna desensitize yourself, and you ain't gonna be able to never make love to a woman." Ooh.
mm,
He was right, you know what I mean? But you know, I abused myself, you know, shit. But that's what it was all about originally, and so once I decided to get in the streets and I started pimping and all that, I kind of just took my time, my own angle with it, and branched off from everybody else. Yeah, I mean, I was like, okay, y'all on some horny shit, y'all trying to fuck bitches. I'm horny, go with it, eat, man. I'm about some money, so you know. And out of all my siblings, when it came to hustling and getting money, you know, I wasn't the oldest, I wasn't the youngest, but I definitely did it the best.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and so you know, but yeah, that's where it stemmed up from. And now it's like, you know, when you tell somebody that's your name, I go a lot of places in a lot of circles, and I just be like HG. And of course, they ask, you know, when I'm in these dinner, I'm going to dinners with Mello, and then we going to dinner. I remember we went to a dinner way in Nevada City up north.
Yeah.
With these white people, dude wanted to sponsor me and shit. And they like, well, what does it mean? And we like, Horny Goat, you know, they like, what the hell? Yeah, I mean, but they never forget it.
Yeah.
It's something they'll never forget.
Nah,
So
for sure.
it leaves a stain on your brain when you hear it. So
Yeah.
I just, you know.
Nah, it's definitely attention grabbing for sure. And you completely right. They wouldn't forget that shit for sure.
And that's what it was all about. I know the broad ain't gonna forget it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She ain't gonna forget it. She like, oh man, that's that Horny Goat nigga.
For you, like, how would you say that jail affected you, and like, at what age did you start going to jail?
I started going to jail right after my mom went to prison. So I started going to jail when I was 13. I was in and out of juvenile hall, but between Solano County, Alameda County, Martinez, I was going to juvenile hall up until the point I was 18. Shit, I done been to group home, 2 group homes, and you know they was just trying to get me out the community and all this and that. But I kept running from the group homes. But going to, I did, like I said, I did the juvenile hall thing growing up, in and out. It was a revolving door, probably about 10 to 15 arrests. You know what I mean? I couldn't stay out. And once I turned 18, the juvenile hall, you know, that's like daycare. So that shit don't really have that's not a deterrent for an adolescent to be like, okay, I'm not going to get in trouble no more because they locked me behind the door and had the motherfucking, had the nannies watching me. Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing going to happen to you there. You ain't got nothing to worry about. But when I went to prison, 2015. So I caught my first adult case 2014, aiding and abetting of prostitution.
Yeah.
That was what I pled out to. It was reduced down from a pimping case. 2015. I'm sorry, no, that was 2012. 2012, I caught that aiding and abetting. 2015, I got indicted on a human trafficking case. And when that happened, that stemmed up from a chick that I hadn't had dealings with in a year at that time. I had stopped dealing with her a whole year ago. And so when it came out of nowhere. And, you know, and at that time, I was doing pretty good for myself. And so I didn't know where it was coming from for the longest, you know. And when I caught that case, U.S. Marshals came and grabbed me and all that. I ended up pleading out. I did like 6 or 7 months in county. I ended up pleading out to, we got it reduced from a federal case to a state case. I ended up pleading out to 1 count of pimping of an adult. And I got sentenced to 6 years with half, which is the max on pimping. 6 years, because it carried 246. So I got sentenced to 6 with half because I already had a pimping related prior from 2012. So, yeah, I took the 3 years basically. And at the time, you know, when you in jail, them prison lawyers and jailhouse lawyers, they be talking and they be like, oh yeah, you know, this law passed this law, so you only gonna do 33% because you non-violent and all this. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the deal. I didn't take the deal till right before, a week before trial. I was going to trial with the shit because they was offering me 8, 12. I think they started at 15 and worked their way down. And I'm like, I'm not taking none of that shit. I'm like, that's too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'll take my chances at the box. If she don't come, I'm gonna walk. But if she come, I'm fucked. And so I'm gonna get life. That's what I was looking at, 15 to life. And so,
Damn.
yeah, you know they do pimps wrong, man. Yeah, I mean, a hoe get caught hoeing, they give her a misdemeanor. Pimp get caught pimping, they give him life. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And it's human trafficking is such a broad law. It's so easy for anybody to get in. Somebody that ain't even really pimping, that got a girlfriend that's hoeing. Yeah, I mean they can get it with ease. So, like I say, I ended up pleading out to 1 count of pimping of an adult. I went to prison for. I ended up doing damn near 4 years on that case because I kept getting write-ups and shit. All my write-ups was phone write-ups. You know, I'm a player, man. I sit back and I just want a phone. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Give me a phone. I ain't trying to be rolling around in the dirt on the yard and all that. Give me a phone. I'm gonna sit back. So that's how I was sitting back, campaigning, maintaining, still doing my time, still having it my way.
Yeah.
And but prison definitely sharpen you up though. I went from the 2 yard all the way up to the 4. So Yeah, I mean, I ended up paroling from the foe, and
Yeah.
it definitely. At first, I was bitter about my time, the whole time doing it, but and when I started reflecting on it toward the end of my time, I realized how it actually made me a better man. It made me better in more ways than one, and so. I didn't regret it. I didn't, you know what I mean? I did it. It happened. We moved past it. You know what I mean?
What are some ways you feel like it made you better?
Um, so being in prison make you have a different outlook. I remember the first reality check I got. I always had a problem with instant gratification, something that a lot of us have, and I also have a problem with entitlement. You know what I mean? So when I got to prison, I'm used to having it my way, whenever I want something, whenever, I'm front of the line, I'm VIP, I'm paying to get ahead, I'm valet, I'm used to that. So when I'm in prison, we all got blues on. Everybody got blues on. And they called me to the nurses station my first couple weeks. They called me to the nurses station for a regular doctor visit. And they like, all right, yeah, the appointment was at like 9 in the morning or something. Man, I ain't see the doctor till about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I had to sit up there all day. And the whole time I'm up there, I'm like, man, they got me effed up. Man, they got me effed up. I'm like, man, they don't know who I am. And that's when I realized I ain't no different from nobody else in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So that was a reality check, honestly, as far as the entitlement goes. But, like I say, I got kids, so it made you have a different outlook on, being absent in my kid's life for that period of time. My oldest son, Josiah, I had him, he was 7 months when I went to jail. So
Yeah.
being absent out of his life and having to live through the pictures and the FaceTimes and all that shit is, that shit rough. And it make you really sit back and think about what you're doing before you do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because I don't know nobody that just don't want to be there. You know what I mean? That's the intention from the jump now. So, uh, but like I said, it just make you reflect on a lot of things, man. It really more so than anything else, it make you think about what you're doing before you do it. You know what I mean? It's that it give you it turn the volume up on your consciousness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I'm going outside, I know I gotta have my helmet or whatever. It make me think, okay, well, if I gotta go outside and I gotta take this helmet with me, and I know it's hot over there, you know what I mean? Do I really need to go? Or should I just stay home? Is it
Yeah.
worth me going? And it just turn the volume up on your consciousness, you know what I mean? And it make you more conscious of your decisions, and it give you better foresight on, the decisions that you're gonna make. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing I could say.
How has fatherhood been for you?
Awesome, man. I love my kids to death.
How many kids you got?
I got two biological boys, and two girls that I love to death. They not biological. They stemmed up from an old relationship, from before I went to prison and all that. And I just kind of vowed to. They mother passed and stuff, but I just kind of vowed to
Oh
always
shit.
be there, man. So
Yeah.
I don't count them no less. But yeah, like I said, I got two boys and two girls. So um, and being a dad is great. It's kind of rough for me in the aspect of I don't live in California, so and they reside in California, so it's like it's a barrier, it's a bridge, and I gotta come back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I remember when my oldest son, started playing football, and I committed to coaching his team. I was coming to the Bay. I come to the Bay 3 days out the week and go home for the other four, and then it was flip flop, and then he quit after like 3 weeks. His
Damn.
mama let him quit. I was pissed off because I had already committed to the rest of the team too.
Yeah.
So I had to keep it up for the
You
whole
was there for the
season.
whole season.
Right. And before that, prior to that, I had already did 3 years coaching before I left and moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was like, I ain't gonna walk off on these little dudes, you know what I mean? But I was pissed though, because it's like
You
whole
ain't tell him
reason
to come back.
yeah, I did, but
He was trying to.
he not like that. He don't like contact. He real suave with
Yeah.
it. I put him in basketball, and he didn't want to. He go up for a layup. He ain't gonna bump into you. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he real soft. So that's just how he is, man. And I couldn't be mad at him. It took me a while to get over it,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna put him in some taekwondo, some boxing or something, and get him there, some wrestling. But he gonna get there though. But I can't be mad at him for how he is, man. He don't want to be tackling and rolling around in the dirt with niggas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a father, you want your kid to play football and do all this shit, but shit. I mean, I don't know, everything for everybody, and then he got other influences that surround him a little bit more than I am. That tells him, oh, it's okay to stop doing it. It's okay to quit. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the problems I had. Like, y'all enabling that shit. You know what I mean? Instead of telling him, no, you started this, so you got to finish this. You know what I mean? So that was a problem that I had with his mom. Uh, I don't. Once you tell him it's okay to start quitting, they keep quitting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So.
Can you talk about, like, in the past tense, of course, but like, how did you get involved in pimping, and like, what introduced you to that lifestyle?
So when I started pimping, like I said, I was on my Horny Goat shit already, going in middle school or high school. Once I got to high school, um, I had a big cousin. Well, I still got a big cousin named. We ain't even gonna say his name. A lot of people know his name, but my big cousin, he used to come through, and he'd come through in the fly whips and all that. You know what I mean? The new shit. You know what I mean? With the TVs in it back then and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn.
Shining.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to be like that. And so I looked up to him gradually without us even being around each other every day or nothing like that. But every time I see him, I was idolizing that shit. And I was like, damn, that's what I want to be like. So one day, we start getting closer and closer. And he asked me one day, he said, man, you got all these bras, but ain't none of them doing nothing for you. And when he say that to me, I'm like, damn, you're right. He was like, man, take a ride with me. And so I jumped in with him. We took a spin, and we hit the foe. We was out here in the bay. We hit the foe, and we was just spinning. Back then, the game was different than the way it is now, honestly. So, it's totally different. And this was 2010. Yeah, I mean 11. So, I jumped in with him, man. He let me ride with him for the whole night. I'm watching him check traps. I'm watching him, I'm watching this whole interaction. I'm seeing how the streets love him. Every stoplight we get to, they pulling a BB, bro, woo, 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 you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? To me, as I'm riding down E14, if you know E14, I'm riding down E14, this motherfucker look like Vegas to me. It look like, you know what I mean? With bright lights on, hey, you know what I mean? So it was like that. And I'm like, damn, this shit cool like this. I like this shit. This is what I want. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the night, like every time we pull up on one of the bras, he'd throw the trap in my lap. Huh, count this. I'm pull the envelope out. Man, about 6,000. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, I wasn't having no money like that at that time in high school. So I was in like 10th grade or something. And so I'm like, damn, okay, yeah, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? And after that night, we pulled back up to the hood in the dead end in the morning, and he like, all right, get out. That was that. He like, you on your own. And so I'm like, all right. So within no time, I went and got me a little broad. Yeah, I mean, I had a little broad at first, and she was older than me. She way older than me, but she was like 23 or something, 24 at the time. But the broad, yeah, I mean, and I'm like, okay, I'll sit the broad down. Yeah, I mean, everything that could possibly go wrong, go wrong. And from there, that's where it started though. It stemmed from there, and then I met the broad that I was with for a few years up until I went to prison. And so that's where it all started. And before I knew it, I'm trapping in the city, everywhere else. I'm doing my thing. I'm like, cool. I'm going to school. Then I get out of school. I'm going to the track. I'm going
High school.
high school, 10th grade.
Damn.
I'm going to school. Then when I leave school, I'm getting ready to go to the track. And I'm on the track all night. You know what I mean? Doing my thing. And one day, he say, at that time, I was standing on principles that I saw him standing on. So it was like, okay, he don't mess with no kids. He don't mess with no bras under 18, so I can't mess with no bras under 18. But at the time, I'm only 16.
Yeah.
So one day he said to me, like, man, why you ain't got why you don't fuck with all them other bras? Ooh, that's your age. And I say, damn, he right. He like, you can't get in trouble the way we get in trouble for it. I'm like, damn, I thought about it. I'm like, you're right. So then I go back to school. All the little bras that's on me at school, I'm picking them off left and right, man. Come on. You know, it ain't nothing. It's easy.
Yeah.
And so before I know it, it got to the point where one day I look up, I'm 9 deep. I'm 9 deep in high school. I got my little bro driving his Monte Carlo. He driving his car. I'm driving my car full of hoes. He got my hoes in his car too. And I'm just paying him to come to the blade and fuck with me all night. You know what I mean? And so it was to that point. And once I start getting that kind of money, you know, you take a 16-year-old at that time and you giving them this before a 16-year-old could get on a computer and find an EDD scam or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So back then it was like the only people that was my age that was having that type of money, like, was the niggas that was hitting houses and all that type of shit that
Yeah.
I wasn't doing no more. So, you know, you couldn't really tell me nothing, man. Shit, as far as I was concerned, I never really was one to fuck with people my age. I fucked with everybody older than me, way older than me. So, you know, shit, I'm making 6, 7, 8, 9,000 a day. What can you tell me? Yeah, I mean, and of course, who gonna turn back from that? Who gonna be like, all right, you know what I mean?
Nobody.
So, you know what I
Not
mean?
at that. Not at
Yeah, I'm coming to school brand
grown
new.
or a kid.
I'm coming to school brand new caddy. Yeah, I mean, just came out last year. Yeah, I mean, I ain't even got no L's. Yeah, I mean, all that. So it's like, what can you tell me? And then the older dudes on the track used to bag on me a lot because they'd be like, you know, we used to talk numbers, and I was talking my real numbers. So you know, I made 5,000, and like, whoa, man, you should be making 10, 15. Whoa. And so once I seen that type of hate going on and all that, that's when I start distancing myself from people, and I start realizing that people don't got my best interests at heart. Yeah, I mean, they just want to. They don't look for any reason to downplay what I got going on. Yeah, I mean, because you out here 40 and you only got one bitch and you getting 500 a night. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, come on, let's talk about it. So, yeah, I just started doing my thing, man. I was back and forth to Jersey, New York, East Coast, all that. Just back in Red Book days and shit. You know what I mean? So it was easy. It got to the point where you could just put a bra in the room, and when you get abroad, you put her in the room, give her a laptop, teach her how to post the ad, and that's that. You ain't got to work. You ain't got to work too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So shit, just let her know I need 1,000 a day. Yeah, I mean, so you did that with everybody, and before you know it, it's like shit. This shit easy. You know what I mean? Take care of them, get them, boss them up, get them what they want. At that time, them bitches didn't want nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Clothes and them bitches don't want. These bitches nowadays don't want nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but that's where it all stemmed up from, though.
Nah, I got you. It's crazy that you was doing that from like such a young age and shit. Like, how I say this, you know, Bay Area, like, pimp culture is super deep out here.
Right.
Like, prior to that, is that something you thought you would ever be involved in, or like, is that like, what was it like? What did you see yourself doing when you was growing up? Like, what?
Nah, you know what? When I was a kid, bro, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Hmm.
I wanted to be a lawyer. I had a deep interest in law. I used to have my dad buy me law books, penal code books, and all that type of shit. And I studied law as a kid. And so when I got older, I started studying law for the wrong reasons. Well, it was the right reasons, but the wrong reasons. I studied law because I wanted to know, if I do this, I need to know what I could be looking at, how much time I could get, how much trouble I could get in for doing this, X,
Right.
Y, Z, whatever I'm doing. So I was studying law, man. But once my record was as fucked up as it was, I knew I wasn't going to, you know what I mean, be taking no bar test. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that dream kind of went away, but especially, you know, with the fast money, when you get that fast money, you be like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? And yeah, that young, when you're that young, you're not thinking about the longevity of your lifespan in the situation. So, you know, all them dreams went out the window. But studying the law the way I did, actually, it benefited me because I was going to jail and all that shit, and I knew law very well. You know, I knew law as good as any public defender as far as I was concerned. So, You know, they used to be trying to tell me shit. And I'm like, no, you need to do this motion, woo, woo, woo. And, you know, I was wiggling out of a lot of situations. There was a lot of situations I probably shouldn't have came about it, but I did, you know, thanks to the higher power. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I wiggled out of a lot of situations. And I definitely think it was because I had a lot of knowledge. I was an intelligent kid, so.
What are some cases that you beat, or like, can you speak on that?
Being a juvenile, shit, I feel like I beat all of them because I ain't getting no real time out of none of them.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a juvenile, you know, you get a couple months, 3 months, 6 months program over here, little shit. Yeah, I mean, I remember I got caught for they charged me with 13 burglaries, bruh. And they sentenced me to a year in a some program within the jail, juvenile hall. And I'm like, no, it was 6 months. They sentenced me to 6 months. And I'm like, damn, 13 burgers. I'm glad I wasn't grown. Yeah,
How
man.
you get caught up on 13 now?
So all of them wasn't us. All of them wasn't me. But what the police did was they said, what is your MO? Yeah, I mean, so they say the way y'all was going in and the way y'all was going about it, all this shit is the same pretty much. So we charging you with all this shit.
That's fucked up.
That's the way it was. Shit. You know what I mean? And as I'm reading the discovery, I'm like, man, wait a minute, we ain't do this. You know what I
I'm
mean?
like, that sounds fucked up.
I'm talking to my boy, like, man, we ain't do this one. He like, man. And it just got to the point where, but you know, they always just want you to plea out. So they like, look, take these two, you know what I mean? And we're going to drop all these. So, all right, fuck it. Come on. You know what I mean? And so that's why I say I feel like I beat all them juvenile cases. Shit. Growing up as an adult, though, once I hit adulthood, that Fed case, like I say, at first I was looking at like, I don't know, was it 30 to life, 25 to life or something. And when they telling me that, I'm just laughing because I'm like, damn, that number's so astronomical. You mean to tell me I'm looking at 20-some years for a broad I ain't never touched, I ain't never hit, I ain't never yelled at, raised my voice, nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like, man, you gotta be out your damn mind. So I'm thinking this shit is surreal. They can't be real. This shit ain't even real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and my dad, I remember my first phone call. I called Pops after the marshals grabbed me. When the feds grabbed me, I called Pops. He like, hey. I'm like, hey, look, ain't no need in getting no lawyer, no none of that. You know what I mean? Ooh, they got me because I knew somewhat of what they had by then.
Yeah.
This was 3 days after I got arrested. So he like, hey, man, listen, a doctor don't operate on themselves, right? I'm like, right. He like, you know what I mean? What'd he say? He said something else catchy.
Pops got some game
He
to
has some
it.
game. He has some game about himself. And when he said that, I'm like, okay, well, you're right. And he like, look, we're going to get you the lawyer. As soon as he get the lawyer, shit changed. Shit start looking different in the case. I thought I was through. Shit changed. Shit started looking different. And then, like I said, it went from a federal human trafficking to a state pimping case. Yeah, I mean, once we got it down to a state pimping case, it came down to you want to go to trial and risk her showing up, even though she running from the court dates. You know what I mean? They having to track her down, or you want to just take this and get out the way. And it was like, at that time, I was stubborn shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I ain't taking no time. I done already been in jail 6, 7 months. So once they told me I was gonna get 33% and all this, and I'm probably only gonna do another year or so, I'm like, all right, whatever. That's a win to me, shit, because I'm thinking about all the shit I didn't get charged with and all the shit I did get away with.
Yeah.
So at this point, because I done had attempted murder cases and everything else, and walked on them. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. I'll take the little time. And then I ended up, once I got to prison, that's when they told me, like, no, you ain't getting 33 shit. You got 50%.
Damn.
So I'm like, damn, I got to do the whole 3. I wouldn't have took this motherfucking deal if I knew that. But, you know, I took it. I walked it off, you know what I mean? Stood tall through it all. It wasn't nothing to it, you know what I mean? Nigga ain't go PC, none of that other type of shit. And in the midst of fighting that case, I was fighting attempted murder case too. Me and the boy Zeke been going back and forth. A lot of people know about that, but
yeah,
You know, he thought he was on his deathbed. He told the police that I was the one that did X, Y, and Z. And, you know, I woke up the next morning with 7 counts of this and 10 counts of that. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but the DA refused to even file charges on that case because he was the only witness and he was discredible. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't credible. He fighting, yeah, I mean, human trafficking cases for pimping on minors and all types of shit. So the DA just refused to even file charges on that case. And, you know, it was a blessing. I walked away from that shit. So, um, like I said, I don't walked away from a lot of shit where, you know, a lot of other people didn't get to walk away from. So,
Yeah.
but I ain't never told on it. I ain't never, you know what I mean?
What do you accredit walking away to? Just luck? Just
Nah,
what you think it is?
it's a higher power and it's a higher understanding. You get deeper there. You know, I can't understand this shit. I can't explain it to the point where it's like, okay, this is why I was destined to walk away from that. Or, you know what I mean? I went through a lot of shit, a lot of cases. And for me to walk away from all of them the way I did and come out the way I did,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Shit, I only can accredit it to a higher power and a higher
No.
understanding. So,
Yeah.
whatever that power may be. You know, I'm not religious and all that, but
Yeah.
whatever it may be, like I said, it's beyond my understanding.
Were you ever religious or?
No, growing up, my family was Baptist, Christians, whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know, but you know, my grandma used to have us in church when we was kids, have us in church every week and all that shit. But you know, once I was a teenager, before I was even a teenager, I was never religious. I never took the time out to even try and understand religion or spirituality and all that. But
Yeah.
once I started going to jail and shit, I started looking into it, you know. But everybody that go to jail looking into it because they looking for a way out. You know what I mean? But everybody, they looking for a way out. Them niggas going in there, you know what I mean, turning Muslim and all
Yeah.
types of shit. You know what I mean? Come on. They looking for a way out. They
Yeah.
trying to escape that reality. So, in my opinion, but whatever. Everybody gain their own understanding of what the higher power is. Whatever they do in life, you know, I don't knock nobody.
No, that's real. How did you get connected with Pooh Hefner? I know y'all had a lot of motion going.
Yeah, me and Pooh, Pooh, my boy, that's my brother, man. Um, so when I was in jail, I reached out to Pooh. And this is when I decided in my head, you know, I had some money, and I'm like, that's who I was always listening to. I'm listening to a whole bunch of Pooh Hef, Filthy, you know, a
Yeah.
bunch of pimp niggas. So I'm listening to all the no BFE shit, and I'm like, you know, I'm like, I want to fuck with bruh. And so I reach out. I tap in with him. I'm like, man, you know what I mean? What we need to do to put it together? I'm in jail still. What we need to do to put it together? I mean, I'm trying to make a hit. And at that time, the music, I wasn't trying to do music to blow up and get out the streets and get rich and be like Future or whoever else you see on TV.
Yeah.
I was trying to do music to complement the lifestyle I was living and what I had going on. You know what I mean? Because these hoes, when they in the bathroom getting ready and shit, who you think they listening to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was doing it to complement what I had going on. That was my whole intention. That was my whole fan base that I was concerned about. I wasn't worried about who didn't like it. I wasn't worried about who didn't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? I know who do.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. And when I reached out to Pooh, yeah, I mean, solid nigga, all the way around the board. He tapped right back in with me, like, man, you know what I mean? At first, he like, man, I think at that time he might have wanted a couple thousand for a feature or something. He like, man, he knew my situation. I was in jail and shit. He like, maybe give me 1,000. I'm like, oh, 1,000. I'll spend that to him right away, huh? So that was the first song we did was the one I did with Forex, D-Lo, and
Yeah.
Pooh. I reached out to everybody, put the shit together myself from jail, and I did the song from jail. I recorded my verse in jail and everything. That's why I sound fucked up. But yeah, I did that. I hit D-Lo. You know what I mean? Sent D-Lo issue, Forex, the mechanics. They had them make the beat, do all that. And that's when I realized, okay, doing this music shit ain't cheap. Yeah, I mean, I spent about 6,000-7,000 on one song. I'm like,
Yeah.
this shit ain't cheap. So I'm like, okay, but you know, it's about the connections you make and whatnot too. So after that, I ended up coming home right after that, and we dropped the song, whatever. And after I get home, I end up linking up with Pooh, you know what I mean? And we did some other shit. And then it just grew, our bond grew beyond music and shit. Like, we didn't even care about our music no more. And then we started, you know what I mean, trying to get some money together and trying to put this shit together in a real way. And ever since then, you know, we've been locked all the way in, man. You know what I mean? He got the code to my front door to get in my house right now.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean.
That means y'all really locked in.
No, for sure. I'm talking about, I call him right now, you know what I mean, man, let me try to woo out. Yeah, come get it. He ain't gonna ask me no questions. He ain't gonna, you know what I mean? Like, and so that's one genuine nigga that I can say, you know what I mean, I built a real strong bond with as far as in the music and outside of the music go. You know, he was always, I remember one day, I'm gonna tell you quick, when I was trying to get a song with Phil, right?
Yeah.
At this time, Phil wanted a dime. He wanted 10,000 for the feature, right? And Phil don't know me, so he like, when I reach out to him directly, he popped right back at me, but he like, you know, I want this. And Mello, can you give me the 70? I'm like, he popped right back at me. He like, I want this. And I'm like, damn, he want a dime. I'm like, that's stiff. The drink. I'm like, that's stiff. So I hit Pooh. Not even on no conniving, no slick shit or nothing, but I hit Pooh and I'm talking to Pooh and I'm like, yeah, man. It just came up and I'm like, yeah, man, Phil want a dime. Wolf. He like, man. He like, I know that's my boy. He like, but you my boy. He like, man. He like, look, this what I'm gonna do. He said, I'm gonna do a song and I'm gonna get Phil on it. And then I'm gonna give you the song.
Damn.
Now, of course, by doing that, you know what I mean? He know Phil ain't gonna be feeling that shit. You know, it's unethical when it comes to the music industry. You know what I mean? Going about it that way, it's unethical. So, but just the fact that just the notion that he was willing to even go that far, you know what I mean, let me know. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, we've been locked in from there, man. We done made hundreds of thousands together. We done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Y'all locked in. No, for sure. I'll fuck with it for sure.
Definitely.
Real Richmond for sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
and then I met a lot of great connections through him, because one thing that Pooh don't fuck around with a lot of different shit. But he know everybody that fuck around with everything.
Yeah.
So what Pooh do, like, yeah, I mean, if he fuck with you like that, he just gonna connect the dot, alley-oop, and he gonna cut you loose and be like, man, you know what I mean? That's on you, like, do your thing. You know what I mean? He never once was like, all right, I'm about to put you with bruh, make sure I get this. Well, it was nothing like that. Yeah. It was always, bruh, look, he do this, you need this, huh? You feel me? Do your thing. And it was always like that, and it was genuine. So, you know, I met quite a few great individuals through Pooh.
Yeah.
I built a lot of strong business relationships through Pooh.
I was gonna ask you, for you, like, you've been doing music for a while, in the industry for a while. How often do you felt that you have found the genuine relationships throughout your journey?
I mean, I learned that it ain't what you know, it ain't how good you rap. It ain't none of that, honestly, in my opinion. 9 times out of 10 now, you got that 1% that, you know, you're a super rapper and that's why you blow up the way you do. But other than that, I feel like it's more so who you know and, you know, and what you know as far as the business aspect of everything go. And so, I done met a lot of people. But as far as building ties with people, I never was quick to gravitate toward nobody, like, not the way I linked up, like I gravitated toward Pooh, because people got a lot of politics going on, you know what I mean? They like, okay, when I had the chance to link up with Mozzie, and they like, you know, he this, and these niggas over here don't like him, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be a part of that shit. Yeah, I'm just trying to, you know what I mean? So,
like, you just trying to make music,
right? And so that was a deterrent when it came to a lot of different artists, bro. Because it was like, you know, even so, I used to have a fake crush on the bitch Stunna Girl, right? I'm gonna call it a crush. Right?
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna call it a crush.
Yeah.
And I was on her line or whatever when I was in jail. I was on her line about to get out. So I'm tapping in with her. We talking and shit. We about to do some music together and all the shit. And one day, and this right after I got out, she fuck with whoever she fuck with, whatever. But for whatever reason, she didn't fuck with my manager, Nano Mozzie.
Yeah.
And so one day I'm like, we supposed to link up. I'm in LA. She like, man, what studio we going to? I'm like, man, Nano lining it up. Woo. She like, oh, I don't fuck with Nano. Woo. She started talking crazy about Nano. And I'm like, I asked Nano about it. And he like, man, I don't know that bitch. Like, I ain't never done nothing to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after that, it put such a bad taste in my mouth because Nano genuinely my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Amongst other than the business aspect of it, that's my friend. So I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, fuck that bitch. You know what I mean? And so then, right after that, I started talking to a bunch of bras I know, and I'm asking them about, female artists that they like, and they like, oh, the Lil Kayla bra.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, Lil Kayla. Okay, then I find out Lil Kayla and Stunna Girl don't fuck with each
cool,
other.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm about to say,
yeah.
I know that.
At this time, I done already paid Stunna Girl for some music shit. You know what I mean? All the shit. I'm like, fuck them songs. So I call Lil Kayla. You know what I mean? I call Lil Kayla. This how me and Lil Kayla end up doing the song together. I call Lil Kayla. I reach out to her. And I'm like, man, let's put it together. So she pull up right here where we at today. I have me and Mello in the lab. She pull up. I'm like, boom. So I do the song with Lil Kayla. And I know the controversy that'll come from it because I've been promoting the bitch Stunna Girl like this bitch was one of my artists or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it created a lot of controversy. It got a buzz going, and that's what it was supposed to do. But outside of that, though, being Lil Kayla, we made a good song. All the little females I know, they fuck with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, shit. But as far as the industry relations go, man, like I said, it's about who you know, what you know, and it's about some money, man. If you got some money, you can do whatever you want in the industry. You can go as far as you want to go.
Yeah.
If you got some money or you got somebody behind you with some money.
Yeah.
If not, you ain't 9 times out of 10, you gonna unless you that 1%, you ain't going nowhere.
I did want to ask you, what, like, you feel me? You live to me a life that some people have walked that path, but not a lot of people. You feel me?
Right.
But speaking to those people that have or will walk your path in the future, what advice would you give to them? You feel me? Because I feel like people don't always get no advice, or even how you was introduced to the game.
Right.
You feel me? Like, what advice could you give to the next? You feel me? Young. You feel me?
Honestly, the young niggas that's coming up in this shit right now, bro, I wouldn't advise going this route. This ain't the route. You know what I mean? The game ain't the same. You know what I mean? The politics ain't the same surrounding it. You know what I mean? Now they giving you all day for it. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. At the end of the day, when you're doing whatever you're doing, it needs to be worth it, right? You need to be able to say, okay, that was worth it. You know what I mean? If you get whether it go good or bad. But honestly, this shit ain't worth it no more, bro. Like, you know what I mean? If you in it, you been in it, you stuck in it, it is what it is. It's in you, it's on you. But, like, as far as going out pursuing this for the youngsters, like, nah, I wouldn't. Yeah, 'cause I got some young partners and they doing their thing. It's cool, but even then, and still, I tell them you need to figure out something. You need to figure something else out. You know what I mean? You need to figure out your exit. You need to figure something else out because this ain't gonna last. This ain't gonna work.
Do you think that is important when you get in the game, having an exit plan? Because
I mean, any kid getting in the game ain't gonna have an exit plan.
I know some P's. I don't know. I don't feel like they got no exit plan now.
Right. And, like I say, when you get in there as an adolescent, ain't no exit plan. You trying to get some money. And when you start seeing how fast that shit come, ain't no doctor, ain't no lawyer. The average motherfucker, the majority, they not making $1,000 a night, let alone you got 3-4 bros, so you making 3-4 thousand a night. They not doing that. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody, there's no 9 to 5 that's doing that.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So when you put that type of money in somebody's hands, you know what I mean? Like a kid, they thinking about, okay, I'm about to put the 4Gs on the woo wop. I'm about to go get this chain made. I'm about to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They not thinking, okay, I'm about to buy this house. I'll be able to take this much equity out that motherfucker in this term. And, you know what I mean? They're not thinking about none of that shit. So, but as an adult, if you in the game still as an adult right now, you definitely should be thinking about how I'm about to get out this shit. You know what I mean? What I'm about to do when this shit over with. You know what I mean? Because otherwise I'm going to be like, I ain't gonna say no names, I'm gonna be like such and such, and you know what I mean? I'm gonna be 60, you know what I mean? Talking about I'm still looking for a fresh young bitch, you know what I mean? And that look crazy. You a grandpa, you got kids, they got kids, you got grandkids.
Yeah.
And you around this motherfucker talking about you supposed to be sitting up with your feet up in front of the fireplace, you know what I mean? Watching, you know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? But you outside on the block riding in your old ass Cadillac talking about, you know what I mean? You looking for a fresh young bitch. You look like a pedophile at this point. You know what I mean? You looking for a fresh, you looking for somebody's daughter that's 18, 19, 20. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So it just gets to a point where it's like, when is enough enough? You know what I mean?
Is there an age limit on pimping?
There ain't no age limit. I'm not going to say there's an age limit on it at all. But I will say, that when I run across it, I'm 29. I'm about to be 30. You know what I mean? I will say that I got partners that's 40. I got partners that's 50, 60, 70. I will say that when you 70 years old, talking about you riding around looking for a young bitch, you know what I mean? You look like a pedophile. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say you look like one. You are one.
Yeah.
And as your friend, I'm going to tell you that that's what's going on. That's how I feel. That's what I see. That's what I think. I don't care if you get mad at me. You know what I mean? But you 70 years old, you know what I mean? You somebody great grandpa riding around looking for, you know what I mean? Like, come on, there's something wrong with that, bro. It's something wrong with that. And excuse me. That just go to show that you never gonna elevate past this shit because you should have been did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should have been had you a couple businesses. You should have been had you. Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck if you got a car wash. Yeah, I mean, you should have been had residuals.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, if you still doing that at 70, then you definitely ain't got no exit plan.
Nah, and if you're doing it at 70, you probably fucked up somewhere along the line and had to go do 10 years in jail or something.
Yeah.
And you trying to play catch up because they done took everything. Yeah, I mean, but anybody that was mashing from, you know, you look at OG Slim and a bunch of these few other individuals, you know what I mean? They not outside on nobody track talking about they looking for, you know what I mean? So, you know, like I say, man, nothing lasts forever. Yeah, I mean, and anything you do should be, you know, motherfucker be quick to spit the spill at a bitch and tell them, you know, I could do this, I could do that, but and what you doing for yourself? Like, because at the end of the day, you supposed to come first, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we in the time in society where credit is power and knowledge is power. Like, it's not about cash no more and all that. So, yeah, I mean, you could be out here doing your thing, riding the Rolls Royces and doing all that. That's cool, but what else are you doing? What are you doing to set the foundation and the stage for your seeds and so that they don't be, you know what I mean, following your steps. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean?
No, I agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah.
Can you talk about like Holli Hussle, y'all relationship? Did y'all fall out? Like what happened with that?
Yeah. So a lot of people ask about Holli. Like people be people be saying crazy shit about Holli. This is before it even passed, but you know, first and foremost, R.P. Holli, man. You know what I mean? It was a tragic situation. You know what I mean? How he went. He was definitely rising above his circumstance at the time. But Holli had an older brother named Ricky. Me and Ricky, me and Ricky was tight. You know what I mean? And so growing up, you know, me and Holli, of course, it's your little brother, and we, you know, he only a couple years younger. You know what I mean? So of course we gonna embrace him and everything else. You know what I mean, on your behalf. And so I'm just gonna speak on most recently. So when Holli got out of jail, he ended up going to jail for the shit he went to jail for. He get out. He doing his thing with the music. He doing his thing in the streets. And but he down on his luck at the time. You know what I mean? He hit me. You know what I mean? It's bro. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Whatever I got, you got. And that's how it go. At this time, you know what I mean? I was up. You know what I mean? So Holly called me one day. He was down on his luck. He called me one day and he told me you got to play up. He like, man, come to LA. I got to play up. You know what I mean? He told me to bring 100,000 with me. At the time, I'm like, man, he ain't telling me to play over the phone or nothing. So I come to LA the same night. I blast out that my all right, it's good. We gonna get this much on the back end. All right, I'm on my way. I come, and when I get out there, I go pick up. I don't know. I think I went and picked up 30,000 from my boy, my crib, my OG crib partner. I go pick up 30,000 or something. So I go pull up on a little bruh, and he like, oh yeah, that's the play whoop whoop, and we meet up with some African nigga. And the African nigga was like, oh, we can't run the play if you ain't got all the bread that you said you was coming with, basically. He bagging out. So I'm like, well, the bread ain't the issue. I can go get the bread in 10 minutes. That ain't the issue. So call my OG partner, man, oh, I'm about to come grab another whoop whoop. So we need 100. So I go grab 100 from my OG partner. I go grab 100 from my folks. He ain't tripping, you know, my word is bond. So I go grab 100. And I pull back up to the high rises, all the shit. We in a high rise building. You think, yeah, I mean, what's gonna go wrong in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I never believed in magic until this. So I pull up to the high rise, man, and long story short, we run a play, and I watched 100,000 vanishing right in front of my eyes, like in thin air, like it was a bag swap. The bag got swapped. I'm talking about I blinked and the bag got swapped. You know what I mean? But the bag got swapped with the exact same bag and all this other shit. You know what I mean? So, boom, I ended up losing the 100,000 I just went and picked up from my boy. You know what I mean? And so, bro, little bro, like, nah, like, it wasn't like that. Like, I ain't had to do that. Like, but it's just, at first, I'm vouching for him. I'm putting my life on the line. Big bro, nah, he ain't had nothing to do with that. It wasn't like that. Woo, woo, woo. And Big bro, like, man, I don't know, because he looking at it from the outside in, while I'm looking at it from the inside in. Like, little bro wouldn't do me like that. This a nigga that I let. You know what I mean? As soon as he got out, take this car. You got a car now, nigga. Take that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, he wouldn't burn me. You know what I mean? He'll burn niggas, but he wouldn't burn me. You know what I mean? Being naive to the situation. So as I thought about it, you know what I mean, a little bit later, you know what I mean, I realized, like, nah, you had to have something to do with it. And after that, we fell out. You know what I mean? And the way he got at me was like, nigga, it's whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like, what you mean it's whatever? Like, nigga, I love you. Nigga, like, you know what I mean? Whatever, though. But I found out that he had backdoored a few other people that was even closer to him at that time, recently at that time. So I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, that shit crazy. You know what I mean? These niggas crazy. Young niggas crazy, bro. So, uh, after that happened, I ended up totaling out the Bentley because I had to pay my boy that 100 back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I totaled the Bentley out, did my little shit, gave my boy back the 100. You know what I mean? It was what it was. We were square. I took the hit, but me and Holly fell out, and he ended up dropping a song right after, kind of throwing subliminals at the situation. Yeah, I mean, I knew what it was when I heard it. I heard it after the fact. I didn't hear the song until after he got killed. You
Damn.
know what I mean? I ain't had nothing to do with that shit, but after he ended up getting killed, you know what I mean? I ain't had nothing to do with that shit. I heard that somebody sent me the song. And they're like, did you hear this one? And I listened to it because a lot of people knew about the situation. A lot of people that was close to both of us
Yeah.
because we grew up together. So, you know what I mean? Like, my little brother listening to the nigga music, and I'm like, why you listening to this nigga? Like, I didn't even tell them the situation when it happened. So, you know what I mean? I hear the song, and I hear the subliminals and all that, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I mean? But, you know, the game got a way of, that shit come back around full circle. They come however it comes. Destiny and karma, they don't miss. So, it is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna speak on it no more than that. I love that little nigga to death, but
Yeah.
you can't go around burning niggas left or right. You know what I mean? And think that, you know what I mean? You know how
Nah,
this
for
shit go.
sure.
So
Nah, that for sure on that. Um, it's kind of been like some rumors going around, like basically that you fell out with like your older cousin Kebo,
right,
and like
right, right, right. So
can you speak on that?
So Kebo, like I say, my big cousin brought me into this shit. You know what I mean? He was the one I was idolizing and looking up to. You know what I mean? And so, but he had a lot of shit going on with his name, and so you know what I mean. Love him to death, man. You know what I mean? But once I branched off and started doing my own thing, I never, even though he had a lot going on in the hood, you know what I mean, I didn't really know the logistics of the situation from what had transpired with him in the hood, and I never cared to know. I could have found out. I never cared to know because, you know, this my big cousin, blood cousin. It's my mama first cousin. You know what I mean? So I never really cared to find out, bro. So when people tried to bring the shit up to me, like I kind of turned a deaf ear and a blind eye when I shouldn't have. And it is what it is. But that was my family. And so, you know, when nobody else was fucking with him, I was. You
Right.
know what I mean? And when shit was going cool and everything, you know what I mean? I definitely looked out for him and threw him an alley oop, you know what I mean? That should have changed this whole situation. But at the time, he was, I'm not going to say he was riding my wave at all, you know what I mean? But I was letting him drive my cars and do everything. I didn't care what he told the bitch. He could tell the bitch the Bentley was his. I didn't give a fuck, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, me and Cuz, we fell out because so growing up I was looking up to him and then he had his bottom broad. Yeah, I mean I ain't gonna say her name, but he had his bottom broad and I looked up to her too because I'm like, okay, this is my ideal of what a bottom broad should be.
Yeah.
You know, they went 11, 12, 13 years strong, whatever it was. So I'm like, okay, this is what it's supposed to be. So around this time, uh, me and her was like she used to be with my big sister, so that was like sis, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shit went the way it did, you know what I mean? Gradually we got closer, shit went the way it did, and she like, I'm trying to fuck with you. And at first I wasn't taking her serious, you know what I mean? And so I remember I'm like, you know what I mean, you wanna fuck with me? At this time I'm telling bros like my feet 10. And she
You need a
like,
10-piece.
yeah, I need a 10-piece. You want to fuck with me? Like, show me you mean. So, show me you about it. So, and at this time, I charge her a dub. I'm like, I need a dub. I ain't never charged a broad a dub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I only heard about that in the rap songs. So, so yeah, I mean, I'll tell her, like, I need a dub. Yeah, I mean, in my mind, I'm like, I need 10 from me, and I need double from you because you coming from him, of all people. And it's my, you know what I mean? So she like, okay. Like, she's serious about it. And I tried to talk to Cuz a bunch of times before she even had the dub. And it went how it went. Excuse me, it went how it went. He didn't have no understanding, and it got all the way to the point where he like, ah, this my wife. Ooh. And
Damn.
I'm like, all of a sudden, it's your wife. I got to be like, you know what I mean? So it got real messy. You know what I mean? Cuz didn't understand where I was coming from. I didn't understand where he was coming from. And at the end of the day, it all boiled down to the money, bro. Like, at the end of the day, if I tell this bro I want a dub and this bro come with a dub, what you do? What I'm supposed to do? He tell me, oh, run off with the dub and I give you some more money. Nigga, I just gave you some money. Yeah, I mean, you gonna give me some money. Like, nah, it's deeper than that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean? So he like, oh, well, I'll pay you to lead the bro. Like, nah, we're not gonna do that. So he didn't want to play the game fair and square. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he didn't want to play the game fair and square. And mind you, this is who I came up under. And so it's like I'm looking at him like I'm telling you, like, damn, like I don't even know you. Like, you know what I mean? This ain't who I know. And he was, you know, once you get older and you start having a different outlook on life and the game and everything, yeah, I mean, I guess you I don't know, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And at the end of the day, when she came with it, you know what I mean, I'm not about to run off on this broad with her bread because you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if she want to fuck with you, she gonna fuck with you. And I gave her every space and opportunity to go back to him and everything. She chose not to. So, that's when all the threats and all that came about. He was gonna kill me and this and that. He was gonna shoot me and all this and that. And
damn.
it's my big cousin, so I'm
I'm
like,
like, how
man,
does that feel?
it's my like I say, it's my big cousin, bro. And even when nobody else love you, I love you, nigga. You know what I mean? Like everybody else in the street say you, nigga, I never turn my back on you. Like, and I turned a blind eye on some shit when I shouldn't have, nigga, on your behalf, nigga. And I got backlash from that too. So, I never, niggas was pressing me to give him his location and all that. Like I would never did. I never upped it. You know what I mean? Come on. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I was standing tall for you and nobody else would. And so to have him feel like, okay, well, the only option is nigga this, nigga. And I'm like, damn, you want to take it there over this bitch?
yeah,
Not over this bitch, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I didn't pay it too much mind until it just started getting more and more serious. But at the time, I started poking at him, like, cause I'm on my music shit, and this is how I'm venting and releasing and shit. I'm not talking to nobody about this shit like that. You know what I mean? So I'm getting in the booth, and that's when I dropped the Changed Up album. You know what I
yeah,
mean? They said I changed up. He said I changed up. I didn't. You know what I mean? And so um, I dropped a few tracks that he knew was aimed at him. And really, it was just me poking at him, you know what I mean? Being funny, you know what I mean? Nigga, you tripping, nigga, I got the bitch, nigga, ooh, you know what I mean? And I was just poking at him, man. I let that nigga to death regardless. But he took it how he took it. And he like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm gonna kill you, nigga. So this shit just kept escalating, bro, to the point of my family calling me like they trying to get in the middle of it and leave him alone and ooh. And at this point, he done made so many threats and shit and said what he said. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm dropping another song tomorrow, nigga. You know what I mean? So I'm poking at him and shit. You know what I mean? But it was harmless though. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, shit. That's how we fell out. To this day, we still don't talk nothing.
you don't think it could be worked out?
Nah, because it have been a couple occasions where, shots they got fired and I don't know, yeah, I mean, where they came from. I'm not saying he did nothing. I never say he did nothing, but, the way shit look is how it look. And so I'm just like, damn, you'll kill me over this bitch that don't want you. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me. And then to this day, like, me and her cool, but I don't even got the bitch no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you want to kill me over a bitch that
So it's like you ain't even fucking with her no more.
nah, not like that, but nah, I ain't. You know what I mean? Like, we cool, we cordial, we still talk here and there, you know what I mean? If I need her, she gonna be there. If she need me, I'm gonna be there. But I ain't, you know what I mean? And so, but it's just like, damn, like, nigga, you was gonna kill me because I had my turn? Like, you know what I mean? Okay, he didn't, like I told you in the beginning, he didn't want to play the game fair, so,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But that's how me and him fell out, and that's where a lot of songs you'll hear me talking about Big Cuz or just speaking on the situation. The Changed Up album, I had a few songs on there that was speaking on the situation. My next project that's coming out October 4th, Diabolical Demon. I got a few songs on there that's definitely speaking on the situation. Like I say, a nigga gonna feel how he feel. Them songs is really old. I've been recording them songs. I mean, and expressed myself how I felt at that time. Now I'm just now releasing them because I couldn't release no music while I was fighting my last case. But I mean, he gonna hear him and hopefully he might see this interview and be like, okay, whatever, and brush it off. But I don't see no reason why I should feel no type of way. But I'm definitely speaking on the situation, and I'm definitely venting how I feel about the situation on there. So
Yeah. Why couldn't you release music?
So my lawyer, I caught a $5 million EDD case, fraud case, and when I called my case, my lawyer was like, because when we do music, we generally will vent and express what we going through in life at that time. You know what I mean? As an artist, you only, I mean, I can't speak on everybody because you got niggas that talk about breaks and they ain't never had a break. But when I do music, I'm speaking on real shit. I'm speaking on shit that I really went through, going through, whatever. So, and I mean, my lawyer like, don't do no more music because my case was a state case, but I was under a federal investigation because my Cody caught a Fed case behind the same case. So, but that was because he got caught at the house with all the shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I got indicted off a text message. Out of a 600-page indictment, I was on one page, you know what I mean? And all they said I did was send them some profiles, and that was that. But it was 15 of us on the indictment. They indicted everybody on his phone. So we all got state cases. He the only one with a Fed case because he the only one they seen go to the house with all the shit in it and all that. Um, Lawyer said don't do no more music, don't win no jury, don't, you know what I mean? And get low key, go under. You know what I mean? Keep sports betting and make sure you got proof of income. Where this money coming from? So that's when I start sports betting. You know, I hit for 130,000 on
On sports
the
bet?
sports betting on the teaser. I was doing teasers, so I'm doing 7-point teasers, 15 teams. Nigga, I'm hitting 130,000. I'm hitting 70,000. I'm hitting. So I got proof of income where my money coming from. You know what I mean? And I'm living off this shit. This is sports betting was the reason I moved to Vegas. You know what I
For
mean?
real.
I moved to Vegas strictly to sports bet. And I mean, it wasn't about nothing else. It wasn't because my boys was out there. It wasn't because it was cheaper. You know what I mean? Nothing. I moved to Vegas to sports bet because I wanted to have full access, nigga, at all times,
Yeah.
24 hours a day. So I moved to Vegas, sports betting. I started hitting big, you know, and shit was going, I don't know, it just seemed like shit was going good for me in my life now. Where I say shit was going good, shit was going bad too. Like, by me moving away, I got less of a connection with my kids out here, but at the same time, I'm in the streets out here more. You know, I'm in Vegas. I could leave the house with my flip flops on and my wife beater, and
Yeah, feel
you know
good.
what I mean. I'm at
Kicking it.
peace. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, and that's what it's all about. If you ask me, I'm at peace. I ain't worried about. You know, at that time, I'm staying in a motherfucking gated community, guard gated community with armed guards walking around that motherfucker. I ain't worried about nobody coming in here. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm in a mid rise at the lofts. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't worried about nobody. So I was at peace. So when it came to me choosing peace over being a little more present when it came to my kids, it was like, how present can I be if I go to jail doing some shit? You know what I mean? I ain't got no business doing, or I'm defending myself in the situation, just don't play in my favor, and I gotta go do 20 years. Like, you know what I mean? So you gotta consider all that. And so, like I say, I ended up moving to Vegas and said I'd never come back. You know what I mean? I come back and visit, I pop in and out, but you know, as far as moving back, I'm not moving out here, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'm not about to be riding around getting shootouts with niggas and all this and that. They ain't got nothing to lose. They don't care.
Yeah.
These niggas don't care. I care. So, you know, I don't have no problem being gone. So, like I said, I come back, but it's put a strain on my relationship with them, definitely.
Yeah.
And I wish I could be there every day when the kid, when my youngins wake up, they see me. When they go to sleep, they see me. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's just not where we at. That's not where we at, and that's not the life we live in. That's not the hand they was dealt, and that's not the hand I'm dealt. So at the end of the day, I gotta secure myself and protect myself at the same. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know, I go across the states, Indiana, and all that. I be everywhere, and it's like I feel more comfortable and more safe being everywhere but here. You know what I mean? Because it's where, you know, it's crabs in a barrel around this motherfucker.
Yeah. Um, we- if someone ever heard a song from you, what song would you tell them to listen to?
So when I tell people I'm a recording artist and they ask me about a song, honestly, one of the songs I send them straight to is Kickback with me and Shay. Me and Not Against Shay.
Yeah.
Uh, I tell them to go listen to Kickback because it got an R&B twist to it. It's not super pimpish. You know, any song you hear me on, you're gonna hear some pimping. You know, you gonna hear it. If you know what you listening to, you gonna hear it. But when it came to that track in particular, like I say, it was a soft touch to it. That was when I met Shay, and I said, okay, she got a Shay. I always felt like Shay balanced me out. Yeah, I mean, if Shay come in there and do her harmonies and do her thing, it's gonna balance out what I'm coming with, and it blend together so well. Nigga, I ain't never made a song with Shay that I didn't like. Even the one she'd be like, I'm cool off this one. I don't like my verse. Well, I'd be like, nah, I like that. I'm fucking with this. You know what I mean? And so it's never been that one time where she missed, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people don't know who she is. She like a Dej Low, in my opinion. That's who I would compare her to.
Yeah.
She just hasn't released a lot of music or nothing. She kind of sitting. She's sleeping on herself, and she just ain't. She hasn't had the means to put the proper means behind herself, so she just waiting. But she definitely, you gonna hear me, especially on this new album. I got about 3 songs that are on there, but um, yeah, Shay dope as hell, man, and she balanced me out. So I usually direct people toward that if I don't think that they into what I'm into. If they into what I'm into, go listen to me and Pooh. Go listen to me and D-Lo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I don't think you into what I'm into and you ask me about the music shit, I'm gonna direct you towards some softer shit. And I know you're gonna stumble up on the other shit, but I would rather, you know what I mean, come with this because I know you're gonna be like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then when you hear the other shit, you like, okay, well, okay. But this how you came in though. So you know.
Yeah. What can the fans expect new coming soon from you? Now you got an album coming out soon.
You're right. So Diabolical Demon come out October 4th. They keep pushing the release back, but for different little reasons, copyright reasons and shit. But we working through that right now. Um, Diabolical Demon, a motherfucker, man. I got my boy Young Cleo on there. I work real close with him. I'm not gonna say I manage him, but Young Cleo is somebody like that I took heed to, and whatever he need, I'm there for him. You know what I mean? As far as connections go, whatever. So, yeah, but like I said, Diabolical D, me and him dropped an EP actually, a 4-song EP together. But Diabolical Demon definitely is. It's definitely a banger. Every song, track after track. Yeah, man, you gonna hear me on that motherfucker talking that shit. And I don't know. I sent a bunch of the songs to a bunch of people I know already, and they fuck with it. Like they're like, yeah, this the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one. So and like I say, my idea of doing music was never, I'm trying to be big as Drake. I'm trying to be big as Lil Wayne. That was never my intention with music. I'm trying to complement what I got going on in my life and the people that know me and the people that support me and fuck with me. You know what I mean? I'm tailored toward who fuck with me and whoever don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Is there anything that you want to talk about that we didn't cover that you feel like you wanted to bring up and how you here?
Nah, man. I mean, we pretty much went over everything. Only thing I didn't really mention was like when I came into the music, getting out the pen. It was a few people that I gravitated toward other than Pooh. Like, you got Mello at Millennium Studios. He opened the door for me. Nano connected me with him one day, and he opened the door for me. I started out paying for sessions and all that, but me and Mello, like what happens with me and most people, we develop a bigger bond than music.
Yeah.
And so, it got bigger than that. You know what I mean? And Mello, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, nigga, that's the goddaddy of my kids. Now, do their mamas agree with it? I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, if I gotta call somebody, I'm gonna call Mello first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just what it is. If I died today and I had to think and I had to dictate, okay, who gonna be around my youngin and help him, learn the walk of life, I'm gonna say Mello. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm not gonna say Pooh. I'm not gonna say, I'm not, because I don't want my sons being the way I am necessarily, in every aspect, and that's what they gonna get coming from this. So, Mello, he definitely helped me out a lot.
Yeah,
Feezy Films.
Fizzy
I
Films.
was with Feezy when he first was, coming up in this shit, starting filming videos and shit. And Feezy was charging me a couple hundred a video, And once he got better and he got better equipment and everything else, he didn't try and up his price on me. I know about prices that he upped on other people. He didn't up his price on me like that. Like, he like, man, I'm fucking with you. Whatever you need, I'm with you. We rocking and rolling. So, Feezy, another good dude. That I had a connection with, and I still have a connection with, and I plan on getting some work done with him. Um, and then my cousin, he just started shooting recently. I let him do the change that video for me. That was like his first or second video or something. So, the quality ain't the best, but he done got a whole lot better over the time I've been watching him. He done got a whole lot better with this shit. And me and him got some videos we about to shoot real soon off this next album that's about to drop. So
Yeah.
definitely fucking with cuz, but other than that, shit.
For my final question, I did want to ask you, what advice would you give to like the 15-year-old you, 14-year-old you, like the teenager you, knowing everything you know now, everything you've been through, all your experiences? What would you tell to the younger you?
Honestly, so with the youngins, like around that age, that's because I know, like, okay, for instance, I don't let my kids listen to my music. They go find it on YouTube, and they found it. They listen, on their own time. But as far as if I'm around and I see that shit, I don't let them listen to my music. So, you know, it's kind of hard, bro, because in a sense, we glorify this shit we glorifying this shit like this is the life, knowing that it's not. But we acting, in my opinion, we acting. We got acting gigs as musicians. We got acting gigs, and if kids don't have somebody in their life to tell them like, nah, this ain't the way. Like, it's a facade. Like, then they not going they gonna gravitate towards the same thing I gravitated toward. The fast money, the cars, And so, when the youngins that I personally deal with, they see my cars, they see everything I got, they see all that shit. I tell them, like, because they see me with these hoes and shit too, and I'm like, I tell people, like, they see me with different women, and I'm like, that's not the way to go. I kind of be sounding like my dad. My dad before he was a preacher, I be sounding like his ass sometimes. Like, man, listen, man. You ain't gonna never be able to love a woman correctly, man. If you,
Yeah,
And so I don't encourage this shit on nobody. I don't try and like in an intimate setting. I don't glorify this shit. Now, don't get me wrong. When I get on the stage and I gotta do my thing, I do my thing. If I gotta get in the booth and rock something out, I can only speak on what I know. I don't get in the booth and rap about shit I ain't never been through, shit I ain't never did, shit I ain't I don't do that personally. But when I get in the booth, I can only talk about what I know and what I experienced in life. And so when I do talk about it, it usually comes out in a glorifying manner. And that's something that I'm working on to where I can make it come out a little different. But at the end of the day, at the same time, like my fan base is my fan base too.
right.
My fan base, they want to hear that shit. They live in this shit today, so they want to hear that shit. And, that's what we own. But to the youth, man, like I say, I would never glorify this shit. Like I said, we in an intimate setting, we can get a one-on-one. I ain't hard to reach. I go give speeches at juvenile halls and all that right now. it's really contradictory. But I go do all that shit through Wordsmith, David Durf, and I tell them like this ain't the life. Like yeah, it's other. I let them know that there's other ways to obtain the gains that I've gained. You know what I mean? When they see me pull up in the vet, you know what I mean? There's other ways to obtain the vet. And more so than anything, I'm a educate a motherfucker on credit and the importance of, you know, that type of shit because I learned how to build credit and business credit and whatnot on my own, and I feel like I got enough knowledge to where I can give a motherfucker enough game to at least take the initial steps toward doing so versus trying to go find them abroad. You know what I mean? You go find you abroad, these little niggas finding these white bras, they gonna get them a little white bra from school. The next thing you know, they looking at white slavery charges and they like, what's that? You know what I mean? Why I'm looking at all this time?
Yeah.
Why they calling it white slavery? You gotta know what you're getting yourself into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't wish this shit on nobody. I mean, if it ain't in you, it ain't in you. Like, go find something else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit, you better off trying to be a motherfucking Marshawn Lynch. You know what I mean? Than trying to be a pimp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, straight up.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Nah, I feel you. Definitely dope interview. I appreciate you bringing me here so we can get this done. Can you give your Instagram one more time so you can let the people know where to follow you at again?
Yeah, official_running up HG, man. Tap in with me, you know what I mean? Don't be a stranger, I tap back, you know what I mean? Song features and everything, whatever you want to do, interviews, whatever. But as far as the, because I done had a couple people hit me recently asking about rates and whatnot. You know, it's not no set rate. I'm not up under no management. So, yeah, I mean, just come with how you come correct. You know what I mean? Don't disrespect me. And at the end of the day, we gonna figure it out. We gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? I'm fucking with who fuck with me.
Straight up. New project coming October. Diabolical Demon.
October 4th,
October
Diabolical
4th.
Demon.
Y'all make sure to tune in with that. I definitely appreciate you pulling up. Dope interview on the way.
Well,
you already know what it is. We got Horny Goat in the building, Oakland in the building. You already know. We locked in with the Innovators for sure.
And I appreciate it, Innovator.